So our topic is energy pyramids in ecosystem. Before getting deep into the topic, let's recall some of the terms such as ecosystem, producer, consumer, and many and others. So firstly, I will describe each term to you. First, we have ecosystem. So basically, ecosystem is the interaction of living organisms with each other in order to communicate with each other for their survival. Next, we have producer. They are those organisms who produce their own food such as green plants. Then we have consumers. They are those organisms who can't make their own food and they are dependent upon the producers for their nutrition need. Then we have herbivore. They are those organisms which feed upon green plants only, such as sheep, goat, cow. Next we have omnivore. They are those organisms which depends upon green plants as well as animals for their nutritional need. The example for omnivore is human beings and wolf. Then we have carnivore. They are those organisms which depends upon other animals for their nutritional need. Next we have food chains and food web. So food chain is a kind of chain which represents each trophic level as a single organism that is consumed by the organisms above it, starting with producers and ending with apex predators. So in food chain, there is a single line. At the starting of the chain, there is one producer, and towards the end, there are the predators. So next we have food webs, which depicts groups of food chains in their natural interconnected state, which means that one organism can survive by eating organism 1 as well as organism 2. But in food chain, it is like a chain. If one organism will or the population of that organism will get affected, the whole food chain will be disrupted. But in food web, if one of the organism they get the population get decreased, but still there will be no overall effect on the food web. This is a major difference between both the chains. So now we have energy pyramids. So there's another way to show these relationship, the food chain and food webs. So what is energy pyramids? So basically it is a graphical representation that how energy flows from one trophic level to next in an ecosystem. The top of the energy pyramids are comparatively small because only very less amount of energy reaches the top. So now let's more dig down into the topic. So let's understand the each trophic level of energy pyramids. So at the bottom you can see the green plants which are the producers and all organisms, and as we move to the next trophic level, there are herbivores, also known as consumers. We can see rabbit and deer, which depends upon green plants for their nutrition. Then we have consumers, another consumers that are carnivores, such as snake and eagle, which depends upon animals as well as green plants for their nutrition, and they are above the herbivores. Next we have consumers, the apex predators that predate on other animals for their nutrition, and they are at the top. You can also see the arrow, the flow of energy from the bottom to the top of the energy pyramid shows that the energy flows from the very basic level to the top. So now we have understood about the energy pyramids and the various trophic levels of energy pyramid. Now understand the 10% rule. So the general rule for energy transfer between trophic levels is that only 10% of all energy produced on one level will be passed to the next level. What does that mean? For example, the at the very bottom level, producers produced, let's say, 1000 kilocalories of energy. When herbivores or consumer will consume the green plants, only 10% of that energy, that is 100, will be passed on another trophic level. Say the carnivore eat the herbivore, you only the 10% of the 100 kilocalories will be passed on to the next, that is 10. So this is how energy flows into an ecosystem. Only 10% from each trophic level will be passed to the another. That's why the bottom trophic level is wide and broad, and the top, as we move from bottom to top, the pyramid becomes narrow at the top, which shows that only 10% of energy flows from each trophic level. So, for this reason, our base should be strongest. We have to see what we are eating, what we are consuming. Also, this is what is the importance of energy pyramid. It shows that how energy flows into an ecosystem first, and second, how the nutrition is provided to the top, that is apex predators. And why is it important to have or to maintain the population throughout the ecosystem? Because to this also shows that how the energy reaches the top apex predators, and why the population of producers should be more as comparative to the population of the top trophic levels, because of the 10% rule, because only 10% of the total energy will be passed to the trophic level. That's why the population of green plants are more than the herbivore and then carnivores and the apex predators. And this is all about the 10% rule. So let's conclude that what we have understood through the video. Firstly, we have discussed about the energy pyramids, which are the graphical represents to show how energy flows from one trophic level to the another, and why the base of the energy pyramid is broad as compared to the top predators, or we can say apex predators. Then we have understood about the 10% rule, which shows that how energy is passed from one trophic level to another trophic level, that only 10% of the energy produced will be passed from the base to the top. And this is why, and we have also discussed about the importance of ecological pyramid, that shows that the how population of producers should be more as compared to the population of consumers, because they are the base uh, producers for the, or we can say the main nutrition mode or the energy suppliers for the other trophic levels. I hope you understand the concept of energy pyramids and the 10% rule, that how energy is passed from the one trophic level to the another. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.